Qatari's final bid is going in today, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, confirmed by Mike Keegan, confirmed by Steve Cavey, and very many others. Welcome to United Matters channel. The Glazers look like they just put up this sell as a delaying tactic, or is it called a decoy, or a decoy to really calm this pressure of United fans. That's it. I'm going to explain to you why. Because stories coming in to look like the Glazers have now gone ahead to increase their valuation of Manchester United from £6 billion to £7 billion. Then we are going to bring you some latest information coming in from the United players, the Manchester United players that played into the qualifiers. Luke Shaw sent off, Bruno playing some good minutes there for you. So we are going to bring you more and more information about that. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner is the place to be. And now let's start it off with the Glazers. No, sorry, not the Glazers. Today we had some United players in action. One was Bruno Fernandes. He started in the game of Portugal and played 89 minutes. Diego Dallo never played any minute. He was onto the bench. And they won that game by 4-0. Bruno created close to 6 big chances. Ronaldo scored a brace. And obviously other players came in through, Cancelo and very many others, putting it to 4-0. Now, we go to England. Harry Maguire played 90 minutes, but Luke Shaw in the 72nd minute, he was sent off. Second bookable offense and red carded, meaning that he's out of the next game that England is going to be playing against Ukraine. I think that's going to be at Wembley. That is over the weekend. Now, that works well for a team like Manchester United because Luke Shaw needs to rest. Today is a Thursday. That means he's going to go on holiday and prepare to returning at Carrington on Monday, because most players of Manchester United have been given a week off by Eric Ten Hag. They are really trying to enjoy their lives. You've seen Marcus Rashford is in New York. That's where he is. But on Monday, they're expected to return back on training. So a week off for them is not bad, especially for those that have not been taking part into the international duties. They are off and they're returning. So that means Luke Shaw is going to rest and is not going to play another game of football, meaning that he's going to come back fresh as we play a team called Newcastle on the 2nd of April. You would love to see a player like Luke Shaw fresh, because when you look at a team like Newcastle, they're really going to be having they're going to be giving us a hard day in there for you. So that is what I had to update you about the game of England versus Italy. That game ended 1-1. Harry Maguire played 90 minutes. Luke Shaw only played 72 minutes and was red carded, keeping him out on the game they're going to play over the weekend. That is it the weekend or on Tuesday? I think, is it Monday or Tuesday? That's when they're playing their next game against Ukraine. They're facing the likes of Zinchenko. So Luke Shaw has seen himself off. I've seen some people throwing in some jokes that Luke Shaw never wanted to go in and play for the England national team. That's why he went ahead and really got a red card. I don't think that was the case, because he was playing very well. Every player would love or would enjoy playing for his national team. That's it. Every player would enjoy playing for his national side. And I think Luke Shaw is one of those players that are really blessed to see to it that they really play for their national team. So, as it stands, it's obviously something that you need to come out and really look through and call it a blessing in disguise. According to me, that's how I call it, because to those that support England, it will look like vomitious, but for my case it doesn't look so, because Luke Shaw is going to be resting for some good days and coming back fresh as we play a team known as Newcastle. And secondly, it comes to United that you never know, Luke Shaw might have gotten an injury, or would have gotten an injury in the game of Ukraine, but he's returning back fresh and fully fit for that game of Newcastle. So to me, I see it as a blessing in disguise, according to me. So as it stands, for me, I go and celebrate that Luke Shaw red card, because he's going to rest. We are having lots of games to play. Remember, we are going to play 2 games per week. That's it. We are playing Newcastle on Sunday. That is next Sunday. Leave alone this Sunday next week. Then we go ahead to play against Brentford in the midweek. In the weekend, we play Everton. Midweek, we play Sevilla. Then we play, I think that will be, is it Everton, right? No, it will be Brighton. Then in the midweek again, we play away at Sevilla. Then we go to play in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So it shows you that every week we are going to be playing 2 games. Every 3.5 days we are having a game. So if at all you see the likes of Luke Shaw getting some rest, I celebrate it, I love it, and it might really sound bad for the supporters of England, but for me, let Ben Chilwell get the job done. Let Ben Chilwell get the job done and dusted. Now, Ineos spokesperson on Manchester United sale has confirmed us that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos can confirm we have submitted a revised bid. The Independent's gone ahead to confirm. And after the Independent confirming, we've been told that the Qataris offer will be tabled tomorrow, that is today. So Ineos have really put in an improved bid, and we don't know how much it is because a non-disclosure clause or agreement was put to pen or was signed to as an agreement, and now it's hard for them to come out and really give in such information, so that information can't be given out. Then we are having Mike Keegan, Sheikh Jassim's new bid for Manchester United will land today, but it will still be short of the Glazers valuation. That is what we are being told by Mike Keegan in there for you. So it shows you that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is really so much interested in signing Manchester United, and really taking over Manchester United permanently. That's what he wants. But will the Glazers accept his bid? Because I think he's the only one who can stretch. He's the only one who can stretch to the next level. That's it, of really taking over this club. Because I don't believe that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has the money that the Glazers want. But when you look at Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I think he will be much okay if at all the Glazers tell him, please, if you get that money, we can get you such and such a stake of the club. That's it. Are you willing or not? And if at all they are calling in for £7 billion now, that means that for every 10%, it goes for like 0.7. That is £700 million. That's it. £700 million. That's the cost of every 10% of the share. So if at all they can sell like 30%, is it 30 or 20%? If they can find themselves having 1.5 billion, and with 1.5 billion, they can build a stadium, and improve some services at Carrington. So to me, it's coming to my understanding that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, if he's to get Manchester United, he needs to break the bank. That £7 billion that he talked about investing in Manchester United should be got and obviously be paid off to the Glazers and obviously do the needful. I've seen the funds coming in from trying to buy the club, but I don't think that the fans of United can really raise that amount of money, because they want every fan to put in three every fan to put in £3. That will amass or amount to £3 billion, because United has close to 1 billion fans all over the world. So I don't see that as something workable, according to me. Scientifically, it's applicable, but practically, in real sense, I don't see it as something that's going to come out and really work well for a team of Manchester United to see to it that we buy it from the Glazers. Now, the Glazers again, Sir Jim Ratcliffe says, those close to him say that they were happy to use extra time to fine-tune rather than risk submitting only to find rival groups had taken an advantage. You get? So he was so much okay to really get this extra time, and his bid is going in today. Today his bid is going to go in, and we don't know how much it's going to be, but let's wait and see how that bid is going to go in. But confirming that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is putting in his bid, then another sad story is coming in from Mike Keegan, a person close to this deal. This is what he had to tell us about this deal that is going to be really submitted in. He's telling us that if the Glazers refuse to bulge, the likelihood of a full-scale through going through is minimal. Indeed, there are growing concerns that those seeking to buy the club are wasting their time. Have you heard? Have you heard? This is what the Glazers are really at, that people willing to buy the club are wasting their time. Can you imagine? And this is where I come to understand that the Glazers might have really put in this, that they want to sell Manchester United to calm down the fans. Because they knew that if at all they were not into the position or activity of selling the club, there would have been very many demonstrations at Old Trafford towards every game. And that scares away all that would have been sponsors, especially the shirt sponsor of Manchester United, the front shirt sponsor, as they are calling in for a deal that will see United being paid close to £100 million per season, all per a financial year. So I think this is what they did. And lastly, they are making it hard for anyone to take over Manchester United. The fact is, the worthiness of Manchester United is 5 billion. To me, it is 5 billion. It is. If I thought they are calling in for 6, okay, for me I was okay with 6. But them going in for £7 billion looks like they are playing a hard ball to get. That's it. They are playing a hard game to get. Every time someone nears it, they feel like, all right, let's call in for 7 billion. That's our realistic valuation of Manchester United because that's what we want. And they might prolong this until the summer, you get, because they know that we'll have gotten in a new sponsorship deal. Secondly, they will be in the Champions League. Adidas will be giving them like £70 million. So if I told you had the £70 million to the £100 million, that would be like £170 million in. Then the gate collection this season is really huge because we've registered close to 2.3 fans that have viewed or that have watched the games at Old Trafford, and yet we are having some 10 games to go to the end of the season being watched at Old Trafford. So they might be having a very good calculation of them not getting out of the club of Manchester United because they know that money is going to come in and they are going to really to really back Erik ten Hag very well to excite us. And this reflects well to what I told you like 2-3 weeks ago. Why did they have to appoint the director of operations for all the Glazers knew they were going to leave? And last week they appointed a chief negotiator. Remember that position of Matt Judge has been vacant for a very, very long time. Now, why would they hire 2 people to the club of Manchester United, yet they are willing to sell? That means they're having plans to stay. And when I see such stories coming in through, I believe what they're really telling us. The Glazers are really playing hardball. That's it. And lastly, this is what shows you that these Glazers are just playing on our minds. Mike Keegan, a man close to this deal, has gone ahead and told us that there is a feeling that the bids may not be deemed high enough and both Sheikh Jassim Al Thani and Sir Jim Ratcliffe could be out of the running by the next stage. Now, you see what the Glazers are planning. Their plan is simple. They want these people to put in their bids and obviously tell them that your bids have not met our realistic valuation. So we close the chapter such that every time the fans come out and say that we want you to sell the club, they will tell you we decided to sell the club but no one met the realistic valuation of this club. So I think they are playing an L game, that's it, and they want to stay at this club. They want to start this club because they see more dividends are going to come in through. We are going back to the Champions League. We are winning. Sponsorship deals are coming in through, and more money is coming in through as fans are really flocking the stadium of Old Trafford. So it's really so much worrying that we are being fooled by the Glazers, that they want to sell the club, yet they don't want to sell the club. That's it. By the time he was in Qatar, I think he told them the amount of money they want to sell the club. That's it. In the morning, when I was reading a story about Sheikh Jassim Al Thani and Sir Jim Ratcliffe not submitting their bids on Wednesday, that was their deadline by 9 p.m. UK time. it sent a message to me that maybe these people have gotten to know that maybe the Glazers are really just fooling them around and they're not willing to sell the club. Because if you are really willing to sell the club, these people would have been so much obedient, and such stories would have been put out by Mike Keegan, a man who is so much close to this deal. So guys, your reactions to the Qataris' final bid in today are welcome in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about the Glazers playing the L game that has turned into a hard game that we wouldn't tolerate here at Manchester United. What's your take about the bid of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos that they've submitted in today, and they believe that it's so much competitive? Though Mike Keegan, close to the deal, has confirmed to us that none of the two people who want to take this club 100% really believe that it's okay to have them in, because they are not meeting the 6 or 7 billion pounds that the Glazers are really calling in for. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later and good morning.